In the beginning there was an empty darkness called chaos. Then out of the void appeared Erebus, the personification of the deep darkness and shadows, and the place where death dwells, and Nyx, the personification of night. All else was empty, silent, endless, dark. Then Eros was born, bringing along the beginning of order. Then Gaia, the earth, soon followed. Erebus and Nyx gave birth to Ether, the heavenly light, and to Hemera, the earthly light. Then Nyx alone created Moros, or Doom, Care, the spirit of violent death, Thanatos, the spirit of peaceful death, Nemesis, and all things that dwell in the darkness, haunting mankind. Meanwhile, Gaia gave birth to Uranus, the sky. Uranus became Gaia's husband, surrounding her on all sides. Together they gave birth to the three Cyclops, the three Hecantocharies, which name means 100-handed, and they had 100 hands and also 100 heads too, and the 12 Titans, the youngest of the Titans being Kronos. However, Uranus wasn't the father of the year type of guy. He hated the Hecantocharies, and he imprisoned them by pushing them into the hiding places of the earth, Gaia's womb, that is. This angered Gaia, and she plotted against Uranus. She tried to get her children to attack Uranus, but all were too afraid, except the youngest Titan, Kronos. Gaia and Kronos set up an ambush for Uranus and managed to defeat him, well, that meaning Kronos cut off his genitals. From the blood that was spilled on the earth due to this, emerged the giants, which means earthborn, the nymphs, and the Erinyes, or the Furies. From the sea foam that was produced emerged Aphrodite, the goddess of beauty. Angered by this, and by the economical crisis that seems like will never end, Uranus moved to Italy. Kronos became the next ruler. He imprisoned the Cyclops and Hecantocharies in Tartarus, and married his sister, Rhea. He ruled for many ages. However, Gaia and Uranus both had prophesied that Kronos would be eventually overthrown by his son. To avoid this, Kronos swallowed all of his children as they were born. Rhea was angry at the treatment of the children and plotted against Kronos. When it was the time to give birth to her sixth child, Rhea hid herself. Then she left the child to be raised by the nymphs. To conceal her act, she wrapped a stone in swaddling clothes and passed it off as a baby to Kronos, who swallowed it. This child was Zeus. He grew into a handsome youth at the island of Crete. He consulted Metis, who would become his first wife, on how to defeat Kronos. She prepared a drink for Kronos, designed to make him vomit the other children. Rhea convinced Kronos to accept his son, and Zeus was allowed to return to Mount Osiris, the base of the Titans, as Kronos' cupbearer, giving him the opportunity to serve Metis' potion to Kronos. The plan worked perfectly, and the other 5 children emerged out of him. As gods, they were unharmed, and thankful to their youngest brother, they made him their leader. Kronos was yet to be defeated. He and the Titans, except Prometheus, Epimetheus, and Oceanus, fought to retain their power. A 10-year war started, called Titanomachy. Zeus went down to Tartarus and freed the Cyclops and the Hecantocharies, and Prometheus joined Zeus as well. The Cyclops provided Zeus with his iconic lightning bolts for weapons. With their help, the new gods managed to win. Zeus exiled the Titans who had fought against him in Tartarus, with the exception of Atlas, who being the leader of the opposing force, was condemned to eternally stand on the western side of the earth, holding the sky on his shoulders. So, the depiction of Atlas holding the earth on his shoulders is actually a misconception. With Zeus as their leader, they began to furnish Gaia with life, and Uranus with stars. Soon, the earth lacked only 2 things, men and animals. Zeus summoned Prometheus and Epimetheus. He told them to go to earth and create men and animals and give them each a gift. Prometheus set to work forming men in the image of the gods, and Epimetheus worked on the animals. As Epimetheus worked, he gave each animal he created one of the gifts. After Epimetheus had completed his work, Prometheus finally finished making men. However, when he went to see what gift to give man, Epimetheus informed him that he had foolishly used all the gifts. Distressed, Prometheus decided to give man fire, even though gods were the only ones meant to have access to it. As the sun god rode out into the world next morning, Prometheus took some of the fire and brought it back to man. He taught his creation how to take care of it, and then left them. Well, that's all for now. Bye.